Hi everyone, and welcome to Almost Cancelled. I'm Peter, and this is Connor.
Hey guys.
We're going to talk about Arrow Season 4, Episode 20. It's called Genesis. Full spoilers for the episode as follows, as always on this show. And I want to point out, first of all, we made about 10 jokes about the band Genesis before Felicity cracked that joke
I
at the end.
really fucking want to listen to some Genesis right now, not gonna lie.
Because it was said once before, but it was when Andy said to Diggle, Genesis is coming. We just burst
It's
out
the way he
laughing.
delivered it as well.
Yeah, he's like, Genesis is coming, and I'm like, oh, I have to, better get tickets. And then Felicity cracked that joke at the end, because she's like, oh, Phil Collins said they never tour again.
Yes, she needs to learn her grammar, because that would be Genesis R coming. The silly bitch.
Oh, God. Alright, so this episode was a hodgepodge of storylines,
I
which
don't even know what was going on for most of it.
which all felt fairly random, is the best way to describe it, because there's three things to talk about. There's three storylines, right? Let's take Ollie first.
Oh, okay.
So Ollie decides that he needs to battle this magic, and to do that, he has been in touch with Constantine, and he's put him in touch with someone who can train him to go against this magic. So they go to Hub City, to a casino, and Felicity somehow wrangles her way into the trip to go with him.
Yeah, she's like, well, fuck it, I'm coming. I booked it. I knew you were going on this somehow, so I booked my tickets and hotel.
Aye. And so she goes with him, and she's apparently very good and competitive at gambling, which is
Can I just rewind 1 second? Oliver is living in the basement of his base because he's homeless at this point, right?
pretty much.
Because Felicity's not there to pay his rent because she's the one with the job.
And I've never actually clarified that. I have no idea.
Yeah, but he literally lost all his money, remember?
No, I remember, but they've
And
never
then
clarified it. I mean, Felicity could still be paying for the house just because she knows he doesn't have a working, paying job.
that's gotta feel shitty. Having your ex pay for you for your home.
I really don't care. Like, I don't care if he's homeless or if how that's been arranged.
Regardless, he is living in the basement.
Yes, he's living in the basement of the base, and yeah. But they go and they meet this woman who can't act, who
God, she's atrocious.
has got the mystical, European accent. I think it's European. I don't know.
Yeah, it's kind of like Frenchy Spanishy mix.
Aye, mystical. That's what I'm calling it. She can't act, and she says, "All right, I can't teach you magic here." And she takes him into another room, and she goes through one of those doors with the sort of the hanging beads, that he goes through. And there's this sort of weird transition. Now, I thought it was transitioning to a flashback.
Oh,
Now,
that's it.
admittedly, they did spare us flashbacks in this episode. There was no flashbacks
They showed us glimpses of flashbacks, and that was too fucking much.
on the previously on. Oh, I also
Oh yeah.
and yeah later. Yeah, I know what you mean. But that right. So we thought this was transition to a flash because Arrow typically does the whole pan into an object and then it pans out into the
Yeah,
flashback.
it's a very stylized transition, isn't it?
Yeah, they always do that. But this was a bit more glitzy, but whatever, it's going to a flashback. And then, so we see the totem thing, and they're in like the cave thing, almost like on the island where the mask was, underground. And then, no, Oliver just walks out of the shop with his tuxedo still on. Then Felicity's there with a dress, although Magic Woman's changed into a dress that was different from the one she had on before. And,
So, I never clocked.
and she just says, "We've moved to another plane." we're in another dimension. It just happens. There's no build up. There's no.
There was a sparkly light as they walked through some beads.
But typically, if this was going to happen, and I'd be fine with it happening in a show with this kind of if they're going to have magic and stuff. But have her say before they go in, right? We're going somewhere else. Like build to it. Like
I think my favorite part is they didn't even realize they'd went to another dimension. Oliver and Felicity, because they
Yeah.
walked through this. They were like, this is an interesting back room of a casino you got here. She's like, oh no, this is a fucking different plane of existence.
I mean, it felt like walking through a door. But trust me, we've went through time and space. And then we get scenes of her shooting black smoke at him, and him hallucinating and thinking he's fighting Deathstroke and
I feel
Damien
bad
Dahrk.
for the fan, like for people who were fans, because I know there were a lot of people excited to see Deathstroke again. Because obviously, people generally regard Deathstroke as the strongest villain this show has had, and I see many people say they should bring Deathstroke back. And then that was in a promo, and people were pretty excited. And then he was on screen for about a second.
And it was hallucination.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was pretty much that. The only thing to really take away from this that really might bother people is after this, Felicity and Oliver have a conversation. Now, it seems like I'm not going down this path, but for a small second, it did seem like they might be setting up the idea that Felicity has the power to withstand the magic, and therefore she'll be the one to save the day. Which I know certain groups of people on the internet would have been cheering at that moment. Cheering.
Definitely.
So that was the thing. Next thing is Diggle's whole plot, which all starts with him going to get diapers.
Yeah.
Getting some nappies for his
Do you know
baby.
what? Does he ever get the diapers?
He has them in his hand as he's walking out the store, I think, but he drops them immediately once, the shit goes off.
So he never got the diapers. So is the baby just going around literally sat in her shit for the rest of the episode?
I think so, yeah. She's just shitting everywhere.
Lovely.
Yeah. Keep that in your mind as you're watching the rest of it. Yeah, so he gets a notification saying that his brother's been in the facial recognition somewhere.
Can I have a question here?
Mm-hmm.
Why does he get this update, but Lila doesn't get it for like another 20 minutes?
When she's the one that's the leader of Argus, and he's just kind of vaguely affiliated with them.
Yeah, because he goes off and gets it. He's in the middle of trading shots with his brother, and she's like, "Oh, he's in this area." I'm fucking here.
Unless they're implying that it's a Felicity program from Palmer Tech via their satellites. Maybe, I guess.
I mean, I guess.
I don't like defending the show, but if I can see logic, I'll try and point it out.
I guess that would work, but I suppose.
But he drops what he's doing and he goes to get his brother, right? At this point, fair enough, whatever. And then he gets there and his brother's waiting for him. So clearly, I'm thinking, Akbar's onto something. It's a trap.
Always is.
Right. So they start trading gunshots and a chase happens or whatever. And surprise,
With absolutely no fucking momentum in that chase.
No, there wasn't. It felt like they were just having a friendly jog. And he gets kidnapped and he gets, tied up and tortured and he's all, you played your part perfectly. And then somehow Diggle gets out and gets let go.
Stabs a few dudes.
Right, but then Damien Dahrk shows up. And he's like, oh, congratulations, whatever Diggle's brother's name is. I can't remember his name.
Andy.
Andy. It's
No,
Andy.
John is Diggle.
John's Diggle, yes. But Damien Dahrk shows up and he's like, oh, you did perfectly. And he lets him at the handcuffs. And he's like, did it all go to plan? And he's like, yes, the tracker's in place. We've already picked up his signal like minutes ago. And I'm like, wait a minute. You were still handcuffed to that pole. How did you pick up the signal?
In his defense, he only had one hand handcuffed. What if he had a phone in his pocket?
Okay, that I concede he could have a phone in his pocket. However, he said we. He said we've picked up, as if he's been talking to people, as if...
Well, you do that on a phone, to be fair.
But why doesn't Damien have a phone? Why is he not looped in?
Yeah, what is he... Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, fuck this show.
And remember, Genesis is coming. Genesis and that field of crops and the yellow pills, which haven't been mentioned in about 12 episodes because they showed these yellow pills in the previously ones at the start, and I'm like...
I literally don't remember that.
Yeah, I don't remember this. When did this happen? What's going on? Oh yeah, it's a crop. There's a field of crops. Yes, I remember that vaguely, but yeah, Genesis is...
I only remember it thanks to Reddit.
As it turns out, this is going to be a whole Noah's Ark thing where they save everyone they want to save underneath the city and nuke everything else on the planet. So that's a part of the game plan. But
Which leads us nicely.
Well, no, I'm not quite ready to move on to that yet.
Oh, okay. You got more shit to say about Diggle stuff.
Well, yeah, there's a lot of moments where they want us to care about what's going on, and they want us to care that Diggle might shoot his brother, and the music ramps up as he shoots him, and it's like, I don't care. Let him die. It's fine.
I think I literally said, just shoot him and get this scene over with. Just nice clean headshot. Let's be done with this shit.
Uh,
Man,
Going out to get those nappies really ended up being quite a hectic night
a bit of an adventure, didn't he?
for John Diggle. And also, by the way, Oliver and Felicity got back to Star City in record time.
Yeah, in a
You
van.
you would think they were the Flash. Well, no, because she says at the start they need the jet, so it's
When
flying
did they pick up the
distance.
van?
So they had to fly back and pick up the van,
Because
and
she
then
comes
come
in a
in.
fucking van.
Yeah, and then comes in and saves the day. And
Well,
they're all
where's
chasing.
Oliver in that van?
Right, it's not in the van. She says she has Elena dial. She says he's tracking Dark and Lila.
Yeah.
Right, but the episode takes place not in real time, but everything's sort of set in the one day. It's one night.
I think it's one weekend, to be honest.
No, it's one night. Everything,
sure?
well, all maybe the bit at the start, but everything that happens with Diggles from he gets that message is all one night.
It must be. All right.
Yeah, Diggles thing is all one night, and we're cutting between that and the stuff in Hub City at the casino. They're still in the casino having a drink, talking about failing at this magic mumbo jumbo. The scene like before Diggle phones, and then it's like I mean, even in the show's time, it couldn't be
Yeah, you're right.
like
Because
poppycock.
it's because they needed Felicity to save the day by running those people over in the van.
And also something you reminded me of actually.
Oh, I did something useful.
Yeah, you did. You sort of mentioned something, then we remembered this. First of all, Diggle cries about killing his baby brother, and then I just, mentioned that, he did spend like 2 seasons trying to find Deadshot for that crime. And then, of course, that led us on to the other memory, which you sort of pegged, was that in season 1, Diggle not only met up with Andy's wife, because there was scenes in a diner of them meeting up, he also kind of dated her for a while.
Yeah, and in this he was like, "What about your wife and kid?" And it's like you can't even say their name. It's like, well, that's one because I doubt the writers can even remember their names because I sure as fuck can't.
I can't.
And two, man, you banged her, so can't blame him here.
He killed his brother and banged his wife. That's Diggle's like the villain of this whole show. He's going to be the ultimate villain of this show.
Oh man. Also, can I just point out, strapping your baby to your back when you're going into a motorcycle chase, not the best move, especially when the enemies are coming from behind you.
Yeah, the enemies are coming from behind, and he straps the baby to his back, and they've been shown quite happily to be shooting people.
Yes, they're
the
rather
episode.
trigger happy, aren't they?
Yeah, so the baby's going to get shot.
Yeah, not the best move, but conveniently no one shoots at him at that point.
Yeah, of course.
It's a pretty much the only time in the show no one shoots a bullet.
Of course. And Oliver, Dark does his mojo on Oliver, that thing where he touches him in the chest to make him die, and it looks like he's about to die, and then his eyes go yellow like the people on the island did at one point, and he resists it, and Dark fucks off.
It's vanished.
He's vanished. He's Batmaned out of the scene, essentially.
I honestly thought what had happened was Dark took control of him and made him think a bit of time, like no time had passed, but actually Dark's done something to him, and Dark just fucked off and left. Because Lila was there, but she was knocked out, so she has no concept of time. That's the impression I got when I was watching it.
Guess we'll find out next. I didn't get that at all. I just thought.
Yeah.
I just thought.
It's the only way I can explain Dark just vanishing.
Um,
It's the only way I can explain this show's ridiculous, inconsistent logic.
that could be the case. We'll find out next week, I guess. But I just took it as a Batman out of the scene while all of us stumbling.
Yeah.
Then we get a nice conversation.
On that bit, though.
Oh, sorry.
So, Oliver's the one resisting the magic. Why is it not Thea? We were saying earlier maybe they were going with the Felicity angle. We were worried, but they've already shown Thea resisting this shit.
Yeah, send in Thea to take on Dark directly.
We've seen this literally on like the first 5 or 6 episodes, I want to say. I don't know.
I can't remember.
It was a long time ago.
Back in the Bloodlust days.
Yeah. Fucking blood. Yeah, back then, and it doesn't affect her. So why not just? She doesn't need this magic training. Just have her go in and do it.
Yeah, use her as a human shield. It's fine.
Man, so many drop plot lines.
And then they bring all the Genesis crap back. Like literally, like at the start of the episode when Dark goes back to his like headquarters and like kills those 2 members of his council, I'm like, oh yeah, I vaguely remember this base. I vaguely remember him having a council.
Pretty vicious, to be fair, the spine snap.
Yeah, no, that was fine. But I'm like,
And
it's been so long since they've shown any of this bollocks that I'm like, I guess this was a thing.
yeah, I like how Malcolm's been demoted to one of his posse instead of this badass leader of the League of Shadows.
Yeah.
Assassins, whatever it is in this one.
Stop fidgeting whatever you're fidgeting with.
Not fidgeting, I'm moving things so that they're not causing issues.
Ironically, you're causing issues with the sound as you do it.
I know, but it's I can see it opening, and it's like it's gonna be pissing me off.
Well, yeah, wrapping up that plot line, Felicity and Oliver have a nice little chat, and he's like, you know how I resisted it? I thought of you. Oh, and everyone else too, but mainly you. It was you mainly. I thought of you. And then Lila explains what was taken from her arm, which, Damien pulled out, which turned out it's the access to all the nuclear bombs on the planet.
It's called Rubicon. It just made me really want a drink of Rubicon.
Yeah.
It's delicious.
Yeah, I never heard of that before in my life. But,
Can I, on her having the chip removed, how did she not notice?
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. Basically, after everything happens, it's 20 minutes later, and she's had it stitched up.
She's having a heart-to-heart with Diggle.
Yeah, and then she goes, wait a minute, and she rips off her bandage and looks at the stitches and goes, it's gone. How are you just realising this now? Did it not occur to you as you were being stitched up?
Or why there was a bandage on your arm and it was, oh my god.
So, yeah, so she explains to them that blah blah blah. Diggle's like, oh yeah, Andy said Jess was coming. Felicity cracks the one good joke, and it's a good joke because we made it first.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's actually a good joke or if it was just funny because we were spending the whole episode cracking Genesis jokes.
Yeah, that's probably why it was funny. It probably isn't that funny on its own, but in fact, I would hasten to guess that a good percentage of Arrow's audience have never heard of the band, and the joke probably fell completely flat.
Yeah, it was more of a joke that it was funny because it's referencing its own ridiculousness. And it's acknowledging...
She kind of did that twice, because she said, I don't want to poke holes in our villain's logic. She actually said that line, more or less.
Yeah, exactly.
Again, also not a bad line, but, I mean, you're just kind of pointing out how stupid this all is. So, as this is happening, we're wrapping up the other plot, which we now need to get to, which is Thea and Alex. Alex turns out is taking these yellow pills, which, if it wasn't in the previously ons, I would never have remembered these existed, or what they were. But they apparently help control people and bend them to Dahrk's will, or whatever. To something to that effect. I don't know, I don't care really either, let's be honest, this is fucking shit.
Why does he need mind control if he's going to nuke everyone?
To put the pieces in place, because he can't mind control everyone? I don't know.
But then why has he got this whole rule through fear with magic power? Why does he need both? One or the other?
Yeah, I can't really argue with that. I mean, you can rule with magic, you can rule with mind control, or you can destroy everything
and... Do you really need all of them?
Start again. Yeah. I guess it's just religious beliefs. That's all I can say. But Thea's in this dream, and much to what I said earlier on about everything taking place more or less in one night, the fact that it was daytime the entire time where she was probably should have...
Because it definitely starts in the morning for her.
It does, but to be fair, I think at this point you could have explained it to yourself by saying, oh, they've went to a different country, so it's just a different time zone. Because they're going on a trip, so you can buy...
True.
You can buy... you can fly to a different time zone in a day. It's not unheard of. Right, things are a little bit weird. Alex is making eggs or something, and... whatever. Also,
she gets up and she's like, "Shit, something's not right here. There's someone in the house." Is kind of the feeling that she has.
Yeah.
So she puts on this little flappy gown thing. Yeah, like that's going to be better to fight and defend yourself in.
Better to not just get in the way.
Exactly.
Yeah. So there's that, and then she starts noticing things, and you kind of clock that things weren't quite right. And then, as soon as she said about the things repeating, I'm like, alright, so it's like Truman Show. She's in a fake town. You were thinking she was in like a coma, and it was all like being VR'd into her head.
Yeah.
I was thinking fake town.
I
Mainly,
don't think I really cared enough to actually decide.
mainly the only reason why I was thinking fake town was because I didn't think, I don't know, the audio repeating to me just made it sound like Truman Show, and that's like a fake town in a
See,
bubble.
that still sounds VR to me. I mean, they've still got a loop in the audio.
They do, but I feel like if it's hooked up to a computer like that, it could be more dynamic. Whereas this legitimately sounded like there was a loop playing on a tape recorder
Yeah,
somewhere.
yeah, it's fair enough.
I don't know. My mind just went
Either way,
shit.
I don't really care.
Yeah, so it turns out they've got this giant dome with like a fake society inside it, under the city. It's underground and it's huge.
Do you know what I don't get? So have they taken her under there? Like, has Alex taken her there because he cares about her and he wants to save her, or have they taken her there so she can't interrupt Damien Dahrk's plans with her magic resist his thing?
Um,
Do they even know that she's?
well, it depends. If he's under control, it might be the latter. But if he's doing it of his own free will and he knows what's coming, then it'll be the former.
But does Dark know that she's on Team Arrow? Does he know who they are? I can't
Well, he
remember.
knows it's fucking Oliver. If he's not worked out that's Thea, then he's shit.
Yeah. Does he actually know it's Oliver though? Because last time I remember,
They called him Oliver in this episode.
how did he?
They called him Mr. Queen.
Ah, fair enough.
Yeah. So
It's been a while.
it's been a while and we don't care.
It's been a while since Damien Dark's like done anything of
Yeah.
interest.
Yeah. We paused Damien Dahrk for like several episodes so we could have the breakup.
Yeah, pretty much.
Effectively.
I mean, we had all the her learning to walk after being in a wheelchair for 2 episodes.
What do you mean learn to walk? She didn't learn to do anything.
No,
She just
no.
got up.
She attempted to walk once and then thought, nah, fuck this, I can't walk. And then 40 minutes later decided, I can fucking walk.
Aye, after the miracle chip, yeah. Oh well, that's Arrow this week.
Also, technical issues. They're really slipping on this show on the technical side. Because before, quality of the writing aside, the technical stuff was pretty much alright.
Yeah, there's 2 things we've been noticing of late. Well, 3 if you include some dodgy visual effects, but the 2 that have been sticking out is one, most of the chase sequences are really badly directed and edited to the point where they've got no momentum. They feel really
They
slow.
never used to be this way, did they?
No, they used to be fine. But like, there's like during the bike chase in this episode, for example, it just feels like they're going really slow.
The first half of the bike chase was alright. And then it goes around a corner and it just stops dead.
Yeah. And then the other thing is the sound mixing's been all over the place.
Oh man, that bow. He does his little bow snap thing, and it's just like far too loud in your face. There were some issues with the bikes as well, but they were smaller. I mean, we were noticing stunt performers.
Oh yeah. When as Green Arrow was punching Damien Dahrk in the truck, it's a shot from behind Damien's head. It's like really obviously a stunt double with like a wig on
Yeah,
to be Damien. It's like really blatant.
yeah, it's really slipping.
Which is the second time I've actually noticed a really bad stunt double for him. The episode where they smashed his totem,
Yeah,
there was a really dodgy stunt double bit in that as well. That totem which they glued back together again, by the way.
yeah. But even in season 3, where the writing was worse than it is now, in my opinion, I thought, I don't know. I think season 3 was worse overall. Still, I don't know. Maybe it was just because it was the first particularly bad one.
I don't know.
That it seems worse in comparison.
I don't care enough to argue about it. Wrap this up. Make your point. I let live.
I didn't think the technical issues were bad then. So what the hell's gone wrong?
Okay, that's Arrow this week. Fitting point to end on. Let us know what you thought in the comments below. Are you still watching? Do you still care? Are you invested? Did you like this episode? If so, are you okay? Like and subscribe.
I've got no
Thanks for
drink.
watching. We'll see you next time.